So we are here at the Coylumbridge Hotel in Aviemore. It is on the outskirts of Aviemore. It is really easy to find. Follow the signs for Coylumbridge in, it's like a big complex kind of place. So first impressions. See, so we roll up a little bit early, right? Like 90 minutes early. You see some hotels, if you go in early, it'll say, "I'll check if your room's ready." Right? Near here, she's just like, check-in's 3 o'clock. And I'm like, okay, I was just kind of trying my luck, and she's like, she's kind of smiling with her mouth, but her eyes started for us right? And it seemed like I don't know, but it's just very first impression. But the rest of the place looks good. Place looks big. Place looks it looks nice. We'll see. I'll let you know, and we can sort of have a look around the place and see what happens.
Stop photos on that starting.
Sure, mine.
Yeah.
Just put it on you.
Didn't hear me.
Traveling.
Why is that noisy? Because you used to eat a lot. Well, what is
Yeah.
Watching you guys. Mine were going to let them cheat. Did I show you? What are you doing? To eat? It's just water.
So Aviemore is a small place, right? It's a small town, but it's supposed to be a lot of tourists, right? You think it would be really, really busy with tourism, but it's really not. It's still very, very quiet. And there is no McDonald's, there's no KFCs. There are takeaways, but it's like, local takeaways, right?
A lot of famous people come here,
Do they? Have you seen any?
even YouTubers, because we've been to a place and I watch billions of YouTubers go there.
Okay. But the thing with this, like a lot of these places nowadays, like everywhere these days, right? Since COVID, basically, people have reduced their opening hours, right? It's like after 9 o'clock, say, in a town, even in a Saturday night, after 9 o'clock, it is very limited to sort of a takeaway you can get, right? It's very, very limited. And I don't know if it's my memory, but I remember it never used to be like that, right? Anywhere. And these days, the only places that are open in night is big cities. Places like any smaller towns or anything like that, good fucking luck. But yeah, just a thought. So we're still here. Well, we're supposed to leave today, but Stacey, I guess snakebite is really I can have to allergic reaction or something like that, because snake bites in UK aren't supposed to be poisonous, but she's had a really bad effect. She's not feeling good at all, so we're going to stay for a couple of days and hang around the area. Last night I took my top off to get into bed, and Stacey's like, "What the fuck is that?" And I looks down, and there's something black sucking on my nipple. A tick, apparently. I've never seen a tick before in my life, and I live like reasonably country, right? But I guess it's just different up here, isn't it? It's like, this is proper Highlands, this is proper sort of wilderness kind of thing. But yeah, fucking a tick feasting on my titty. So we've got to do an honest, absolutely honest reaction to the Coylumbridge Hotel. Yeah, I'm just gonna be completely honest about these things. If I like it, I'll tell you. If I don't, I won't. But remember, this is my experience, or our experience when I was there, right? Yours might be completely different. Yours might be better. Yours might be worse, right? This is what I found when I was there. And I guess we'll start with the location in the facilities, right? The location is everything. The location is the reason you go to the Highlands, right? Aviemore is a beautiful little town in the base of a mountain. It's a gorgeous place. Aviemore is the centre of winter sports in Scotland, right? If you're into skiing, snowboarding, any kind of winter sport, Aviemore is your place. They've got a plaque in the town of Olympians, people who went to the Olympics from the town, you know. So, like, if you're into skiing in Scotland, you move to Aviemore, right? Because that's where the best go. In Coylumbridge is just outside. It's like a mile outside the town. It is a big complex, huge car park, a big area. It reminded me when I go of, see, like Dirty Dancing, when the housemans go to Kellerman's, and it's got a look, right? It's a bit more modern than that, but I'd imagine it with that vibe back in the day, right? So, so the location is brilliant. The location, you can see there's nature around you everywhere. There's mountains. I showed this in a way. There's bike tracks. There is walks. There's a river runs right beside the hotel. A fast flowing river. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is beautiful. The location is. I don't think in Scotland you could get a better location. I don't think you could. The location's amazing. The facilities and faculties, I guess. So we'll go through them, right? The facilities in the hotel is dog friendly, right? So it's something to consider. If you are allergic to dogs, which I am a little bit, but you know, only if I touch them and rub my eyes, kinda. If you're allergic to dogs, or you just don't like dogs, or you don't want dogs around you, it's maybe not a place for you. Saying that though, a lot of people do bring their dogs. A lot of people bring dogs in, but they're also well behaved. There are no dogs running around the premises. The dogs are sitting with their owners, or you know, it's just sitting beside them or on their knees or something like that. Right? So there are no barking dogs. There are no dogs running about. The dogs are just there chilling, right? So it's you don't touch them, they won't touch you. But again, there are going to be a lot of dogs in the place, so it's something to consider. Inside the main hotel, there is a big lounge area, or lots of seating. In they've got comedians, they've got live music, they've got clowns, they've got face painting. Like every night, they've sort of got something on, right? Which is great. Also inside the area, they have a swimming pool, which they say you've got to book it, but when we were there, it was never really busy, right? but you book it anyway. You know, it's I think if you're staying in a hotel, it's free. Yeah, you're staying in a hotel, it's free. Yeah, and it's a nice swimming pool. You know, it's not huge, but it's enough to play in. In fact, there's like 2 or 3 swimming pools. There's a swimming pool in another swimming pool. They're pretty much the same, except one is a bit deeper. It's got like a whirlpool at the side of it. It's not a hot tub. It's not hot. It's slightly warmer than the rest of the pool, but it's not hot. There's a lot of slide for the children when the lifeguards can be bothered manning it. Occasionally, the lifeguards will come, open it up for 10 minutes, and close it again. It's a swimming pool. Across the road, also in the main building, there's a bar and a restaurant. We'll come to that later. If you go into the car park and across the road, there is a place called the Fun House. The Fun House is, it's like a little cafe. There's arcades. Oh, by the way, there's arcades inside the main hotel as well, and it will cost you a fucking fortune. It's just a money drain, isn't it? Like I said, my wife loves like grabbing machines and trying to wind it. Spent a fortune on, probably spent more in the arcades than we did on the room. That's true. So the Fun House has got a lot of coffee. Another arcade, they have got a soft play and they've got mini golf. Outside of the hotel, we've got a play park with swings, slides, like climbing frames, stuff like that. There is a tennis court and a football pitch as well. You know, so if you want to do that, it's it's there as well. And also there is a winter sport area, which has got like a dry ski slope and stuff like that. It didn't seem to be open while we were there. There was nobody using it while we were there. But I think the hotel do skiing lessons and stuff of that nature, and they can organise excursions and things like that. Also, there is another restaurant called the Woodman's Bar, or like a company like that as well. But I think I've covered it all, right? That's the in the Fun House. Like we've been that's the second time we've been there years ago, and I'm sure the last time we went, if you're a resident of the hotel, the Fun House was free. The soft play in the mini golf, you just book in, right? Now you have to pay for it. And it's quite expensive, right? For like an hour and a game of mini golf, it's quite expensive. And it's kind of, no, it is what it is, right? You need to pay for the upkeep and stuff like that. But it should be a benefit of staying at the hotel, right? It should be a benefit of staying at the hotel, because the way it is, somebody could stay at a Premier Inn along the road and come and use as much right to use the Fun House as we, as residents of the hotel, do. Right? Like I said, it used to be free. And if you're paying for it as well, the golf is in a bit of a disarray, right? Like there's the indoor bit is confusing, the outdoor bit is dirty. When you get the mini golf, there's like different courses, right? 9-hole courses. You get like, let's say there's stickers on the wall: King's Course red, like Duke's Course blue, Queen's Course green, sort of that thing, right? But good fucking luck following that. We were just looking for a hole number 2, just any number 2 hole, because we could not find a specific course. We just tried to find 9 holes, right? And it was so confusing. And maybe somebody can tell me that they managed to do it, but I did not. That's why I was like, mate, just hole 2. Look, here's a 3, here's a 4. Go, let's play. And then you go outside, and there's leaves all over the place, and there's like giant animatronic dinosaurs just dumped in the middle of it, right? And as things were moving, the fucking tail was going back and forward. You had to duck under the tail to get to one of the holes, which seemed like a bit of a design flaw, right? So there's lots for the children to do, as long as you don't mind paying for it. And there's entertainment for the adults. There's a Starbucks coffee kind of counter in the place, but again, it seems like there's like 2 staff members do everything. So a lot of times you've got to wait quite a lot because they're quite busy. They seem quite busy. They make themselves look busy. And the only other bad thing I'll say about the facilities and the location is, like I says, so you've got the hotel complex and you've got log cabins. You'll see in a video that you can also stay at, right? You can rent out these. Some of them are owned privately, some of them you can rent, right? And the only access to the river, there's two ways to get to the river. One near the hotel is down a big, steep, muddy embankment, like a big, like a 15, 20 foot climb down, right? And if you've got family or, you're not doing it. The other way is around beside the wooden cabins. And, you're going the side of someone's cabin and the side of the grass down the river. And it seemed like some of the people who were living there seemed to think that was their garden, right? It's like, mate, you hired the cabin. You didn't hire as far as your eyes can see, right? Just because there are people at the bottom of your garden at the river taking in the beauty, mate, it doesn't belong to you. And even if it did, mate, this is Scotland. So it seemed like some of the cabin dwellers had a bit of a issue with that because they would just stand and stare at you or they'd be at their windows. But like, fuck them. Right? I mean, it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't belong to them. They've got a specifically grass garden. It's cut out. I'm not in your garden, mate. I'm at the river. It doesn't belong to you. You never rented the river, mate. You just did it. But is the location of facilities? Like I said, yeah, it's more than a hotel. Much more than a hotel. A hotel plus a lot of entertainment. So the rooms are decent, right? The rooms are clean-ish. They are tidy. They are spacey. Like our family room's got two double beds. You've got television. What I will say is there was a smell kinda in the room. There was a smell in the room. It wasn't necessarily a bad smell. It was just a smell, right? And again, you've got to remember that there are dogs allowed in the hotel. And although, we were on like the second floor and they say they don't allow, they say they keep all the pets on the ground floor. They don't allow pets up there, but they do because I saw them. I saw dogs on the second floor. So to say we don't is not true, right? But like I said, it's a smell. It's not a bad smell, but it doesn't smell necessarily clean, right? And the only other sort of complaint about it is, but this is not unique. This is the same everywhere since COVID. You don't get your rooms clean, right? It's like since COVID, everyone has used it as an excuse to cut corners and cut costs, sort of, right? So you don't, like all hotels, like almost every hotel I've been in since the last couple of years, they don't clean your rooms unless you want them to. If you want fresh towels every day, you've got to ask them for them. If you want your room tidied, you've got to ask them for it. But in that situation, you just end up grabbing the towels from the trolley and cleaning the room yourself. If you're just there for a little while. But yeah, that's the only comment about the rooms. There's nothing. It could be updated a little bit, but again, in a place like that, sometimes a room is just to put your head down, right? While you go exploring or having fun. So I'm not necessarily bothered about rooms as long as it's comfortable and as long as it's reasonably clean. I'm happy. Staff. It's hard to say, right? Because you don't expect everyone to be the same, right? The staff were staff is one of these things you get some better than others, right? Some there were some that absolutely stood out. As a young guy in the funhouse was spot on, great attitude, and some not so much. And I find that sometimes, especially in places like the Highlands, the further north you go, people are friendly, but they're not necessarily outwardly friendly, right? They'll be helpful, but they're not bubbly helpful, right? I think you do get that in a lot of smaller places, right? The further north you go, the less over the top happy the people are. These are just people doing their jobs, right? If you want someone, ask them, they'll try to help you, kinda sometimes. But yeah, they're all, most of the staff were pretty withdrawn, right? And they seem, I wouldn't say unfriendly, but not necessarily friendly. Like you wouldn't get them and just start chatting to them because they don't give that vibe. Right? They're there to do their job and they don't necessarily want to talk to you while they're doing it. Right? Like I say, like 2 instances come to mind. The first one I spoke about in the video, we turned up 90 minutes early, and a lot of times you'll go into a hotel and they'll say, I'll check if your room's ready. Not here, this is check-in's at 3. I was like, oh, I'm just gonna try my luck to see if the room's ready early. And it's like, no smile on the hand, it's kind of just like, no, just no. Like, I don't know, pretend, go to the computer and pretend you're looking. They say, no, sorry, it's not ready yet. But no, it wasn't. Another time was Myla has like a sickness condition, right? She's can feel ill from time to time. And it was one night, like say the kitchen closed at 9, the last orders are at 8:30, right? At 8:09, Myla was feeling sick and hungry, and she needed something to eat. So I went to the reception and said, "Look, my daughter's feeling ill. Is there any chance you can get a plate of chips for her?" Because the kitchen was still open at this point, right? The kitchen's still open, and she immediately hands me a leaflet for a Chinese takeaway. Like, she didn't even say anything. She just like handed me this leaflet and turned and walked away. And I was like, wow. Again, the kitchen, the last orders, it was done, but some hotels will go the extra mile for you. These ones will do their job, right? Although, saying that, Stacey got bitten by a snake. They ask, who gets bitten by a snake in Scotland? My wife did. And she was sort of having a bad reaction. So, like, staying there for like 3 or 4 days turned out over a week, right? And we were just kind of waiting until she felt okay. So, they were helpful in that respect, like keeping a room available for us and stuff like that. So they did, in that respect, they did that. So I'm thankful for that as well. But yeah, the stuff, like I said, didn't expect over the top, happy, clappy atmosphere because it is not. It is very withdrawn, but they will help you if they can, if you ask them, right? But they didn't give the come and ask us vibe, right? But it is what it is. So food, and by food, obviously we mean food at the hotel. What I can say is there is 3 restaurants. There is the Funhouse, which is like a cafe with hamburgers, hot dogs, chips, stuff like that, kids stuff, basically. There is the Woodshed, which is like a more of a pub sort of thing, but it's got an outdoor pizza restaurant and stuff like that. And there is the actual restaurant inside the hotel. Right? And we ate at all 3 of them. Well, ate from all 3 of them. And the Funhouse was good. It was it was food. It was basic food, children's food prepared properly, right? It tasted good. It was good portions. What I will say is, for a family who got a kid's portion and an adult's portion, the kid's portion was just as big as the adult's portion, right? And it's cheaper. So if you're going to the Funhouse, get the children's portion. It is big enough. It really is. And it's a little tip for you. It's a lot cheaper and like almost just as big. And it tastes the same, right? It's the same stuff. So that was the Funhouse. The Woodshed. One night we'd been travelling, we were hungry. In the woodshed was the only one, they served like 9 or something like that. And I was like, let's get everyone was tired. We didn't want to leave the room. So it was like, I'll go and get a couple of pizzas, takeaway pizzas from the woodshed, right? So I went and ordered 2 margaritas. My God, it was terrible. It was awful. Well, to be fair, it didn't taste that bad, but when you open the box, it was like, what the fuck is that? What is that? It was barely hot, and it seemed like raw mozzarella just dumped on top of it, right? Nobody really, like, as an adult, I'll eat it, but good luck getting children to eat it, right? And pizza goes cold quickly anyway. So if it's ready, like just warm to start with, the taste was okay. The base was like cardboard. The mozzarella was like raw, and yeah, it was crap. To be honest with you, it was terrible. So that was the experience in the woodshed. Never went back there. The restaurant in the hotel was better, but again, I'm a plain normal person, right? I like normal British food, and for me, on the menus, an adult menu and a children's menu. The only thing on the adult menu I ate was steak. Right, on the children's menu, you had burgers and mash, mozzarella bites, and mac and cheese bites, stuff like that, cheeseburgers, stuff like that, right? The only thing I'm eating on the adult menu is a steak, and it was a fucking good steak. So day one, let's say we'll go one day, I get a steak. It's like 30 quid for a steak, and it was beautifully done, right? Steak, chips, mushroom sauce. Brilliant. Next day, we're in the same place, and I think I'll get a steak again. Can I get a steak, please? No steak. Oh, okay then. The day after that, can I get a steak, please? There's no steak. Wonderful. So, yeah, the best thing on the menu, they barely ever had any of it, so it was an issue. But when I did have the steak, it was well cooked. It was beautiful. It was nice. The other things, the burgers and mash and the mac and cheese bites, it tasted good. It was night and day away from the woodshed, right? So food in the hotel is what it is, and there's something for everyone. If you don't like that, there are plenty of takeaways in Aviemore. But like Chinese takeaways, Indian takeaways, fish and chips, burger takeaways, but there's no McDonald's, there's no Pizza Hut, there's no Domino's, there's no KFC, right? There's no big chain takeaways in Aviemore. The takeaways are locally owned stores, right? And that's a good thing. I like that idea. I like them. They want to ruin their little town with them. Mass. Like, keep your fucking M's away from our town. To do like, set up, there is, the North Face on Tesco's and stuff like that. So it's not exclusively like little family owned places. But as far as food goes, yeah, there is no big brand names, but everything, but something you've got to consider as well, being a little town, everything closes at 9. All the food places, all the food restaurants sort of close at 9. So if you want food, go before 9. Or plus, you can just go to the Cairngorm Hotel, which is magnifico. I've got a separate review of that place. That was wonderful. The Cairngorm Hotel, that was one of the best restaurants I've ever been. So if you're ever more, ditch what I just said. Ditch the hotel, ditch the takeaways, go to the Cairngorm every night if you can afford it. And it's magnifico. Value for money. You know what I think about this place? See the location. Even when you walk in a reception, it looks like it could be a 5-star hotel, right? It looks like it could be. Like just for the location, the way it's sort of not necessarily the outside of the building, but just when you go to the reception, it's nicely laid out. It could be a 5-star hotel. It looks nice, but it's not a 5-star hotel. And you know, it's near 5-star hotel prices. It is cheap. It is reasonable for what it is, right? From looking at it, like I say, I think that was a lot of the complaints you get as well when you look at this place. You look at the service in the rooms and you think, this could be better. But it's not a 5-star hotel. It's just you just got that impression from the location, the outside of it, right? So you got expectation, but it's not. You don't pay for it. Like I say, and for we found was, let's say it was £100 a night, which is okay, right? Which is absolutely fine, or 150 even. What we found was because we didn't pre-book necessarily. We booked in on the day as we were driving up because we were just sort of on an adventure. We didn't know where we were going. We're just, let's go to Aviemore, let's drive to Aviemore, and and that was it. So, and also it seemed like because Stacey got snake bitten and we were staying, we didn't know when we were leaving. It was like day. If you book a room in advance, and let's say it's £150 per night, see if you leave it till like lunchtime on the night you're staying, it goes down. Because in their estimation, £50 for a room is better than an empty room, right? So if you can leave it and take the chance that it's not going to get booked or they're not going to be busy, you can get it really cheap. Some people like the security, and I do to an extent of this is where we are, and it's paid and it's done. But if you can fly by the seat of your pants sort of thing, just take it as it comes, you can get some good deals, right? You can get some good deals. I mean, I think one of the things when Stacey got bitten in the what they help her, and it was like something like 30 quid a night. We got for 2 nights, just because they were felt bad for her because she was so ill and stuff like that. So, like I says, for them, I'm not sure if this works in a lot of hotels, but for them, £30 for a room that was looking like being zero, it's still a good deal, right? And I think a lot of hotels could use that because it seems like a good strategy to me. An empty room brings you no money. Even 50 quid, 30 quid is still money for that room, right? But value for money, like I said, I think value for money, yes, absolutely. Because you expect 5-star for the location alone, in the facilities, in the things to do, in the price for that is, I think, reasonable, like very, very reasonable. Overall, I liked it. I liked it. Like a nice place in the Highlands, in the sort of a base for adventure, because there are a lot of places nearby you can go and see and explore. Or if you just want to stay in the premises, there's plenty to do. Like I said, there are dogs on there all the time. A lot of dogs. So if you don't like dogs, skip it. But it is reasonably clean. It is reasonably cheap. There's a lot to do. One complaint I will make though, one time in the reception, the public toilet, let's say there's like 5 cubicles. Like 4 of them were absolutely disgusting. And I don't mean dust. I mean like human filth. Like disgusting, like unusable. One of them was reasonable, right? But 4 of them I wouldn't have sat on. One of them, yeah. But so like it was what it was. Maybe the cleaner hadn't been in yet. Maybe I just caught it at the wrong time. Maybe a bus load had come in and like they had like something bad to eat. I don't know. But it was a complaint I forgot to make. But overall, yeah, if you've got the Highlands and you don't want to stay at a Premier Inn, there's a place in Aviemore, a McDonald's hotel, and it looks like shit, and it is like 500 quid a night. And it looks terrible. Like when you can come to this place and stay for a few days for that at least. So yeah, I would recommend, yes, go. Just temper your expectations. It is not a 5-star hotel. It is not a 5-star hotel. It is not a 5-star hotel experience. You're not going to get a 5-star service, but you're not paying for a 5-star either. It's just what you expect by looking at it, right? But temper your expectations. Enjoy it for what it is. As long as you like dogs, you're fine. Yeah, absolutely. Go and enjoy.